Alright, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. Welcome to Cardboard Collection Agency, or 3C. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a deck tech or a full explanation on how my Infinite Mill deck works. I'm really excited to talk about this deck because it's a ton of fun and I absolutely love it because it's a really awesome kickback deck where you basically just kind of sit back and wait till you get what you need, unless you can, of course, get very lucky and get it right away. But we're going to start this right off with the key card here, Altar of the Brood. It costs 1 mana to cast. It is an artifact. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. We're running 4 of those. We have Mirror Retriever, 2 of any color. It is a 1/1. Mirror Retriever is put into a graveyard from play. Return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And I will go, these are all the combo cards, and I will go in full, of course, explanation on how it works. We have 4 Dark Rituals, and I've never had this artwork before for these, so I had to pick up these ones because I think it looks absolutely sick, that old style magic. But it costs 1 black mana, and it gives you 3 black mana to work with. Now, that is our resource card. That gives us what we need. And the last here is Heartless Summoning. We have 4 of these. It's 1 black, 1 of any color. Creature spells you cast costs 2 less to cast. And creatures you control get -1/-1. All right, let me kick back here a second so I can get some room. So now I can give the full explanation on how this deck works. Now, this is for the OTK, or if you're lucky, OTK/FTK. But all around, this strategy is supposed to OTK, get it done. Unless obvious, removal or negates and stuff like that. But again, that's why we have multiple copies, since how it works. So the way it works is you have 1 swamp in hand with the combination, of course, of these cards. You cast a swamp. Okay. You then tap the swamp to bring out a Dark Ritual. Then you use your Dark Ritual to cast a Altar of the Brood. Okay? And then you use the remaining mana to cast a Heartless Summoning. Now, Heartless Summoning's ability triggers, which you can, creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Okay? That's when you bring out your Mirror Retriever, which then it also, the second part of his ability says creatures you control get -1/-1. So he will die. So he goes off. We'll just kind of put this as our graveyard over here. He dies off, but because of he dies, his ability triggers. You can return another target artifact card, not creature, just artifact card. So it can be a creature or just like a standard artifact like Altar of the Brood. And then you can use it to bring it right back. Now, the way this works is that every time, because of Heartless Summonings, he keeps dying. But because of himself, he keeps coming back over and over. And because of permanent, in this case, the Mirror Retriever, keeps returning back to the field, Altar the Brood will trigger infinitely and keep going. It'll keep milling them for 1 card at a time every time that Mirror Retriever returns to the battlefield. It'll keep coming back over and over, and every time 1 card, 1 card, 1 card, 1 card. And what's really nice, beyond the fact that this is an infinite combo, and mill is amazing, is that I love that Altar the Brood also states that it's each opponent. So you could be playing against 5, 6 people, 10 people, 20 people, doesn't matter. They all mill 1. So it's like if literally, obviously the odds are literally little to nothing, but you happen to be going against, let's just say in ridiculousness, 10 people. They have no negations, they have no removal for you. Then you can literally just you can literally beat everybody. You can knock out 10 people all at once with this infinite combo. It's very awesome, very fun. If you're really into mill, this is definitely the deck for you. It's fairly reasonable to purchase. I really, frankly, don't really remember much of what I paid. I just know it's a very reasonable budget deck for what it does and, frankly, how fun it is. Because the reason I call it a kickback deck is because of the fact that you basically, even if you don't have your combo, and I'm going to go into this for the next part of the video, which is the removal cards, my destruction cards here, is that you can literally just kind of kick back. Because there's so much removal in this deck, so every time they keep playing creatures, I mean, of course, like mono red would be kind of a difficulty. Of course, if they keep hitting you with direct damage over and over again, that definitely can be an added difficulty. But it's the fact that you can kind of just kick back and keep removing until you get the combo, and once you have it, you have it. Again, if they have no answers, boom, combo lays out, and it's done. It's over with. So now, I'm going to move on to the removal cards. And then there's a few extra different types of cards that I threw in because they just kind of seemed like a ton of fun for good reason, and I'll go into why. One of them I'm a bit iffy on, and I'm considering swapping out. But starting off here, we have Focus for Victim of Night. It's 2 black mana. I love it because most of the cards in this deck are very low cost, except for basically 1 card. Everything I believe is 3 or less, except for 1 card. Victim of Night. Destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, and non-zombie creature. Of course, the literal only setback to this card is 2 things. Of course, negates, generally blue cards, or if they're obviously one of these types. But then again, you're talking about 3 types between all of the types in Magic that people are playing, especially when it comes to standard, you know? So this is, mind you, this is not a remotely standard legal deck whatsoever, if you couldn't already tell. These cards are very old. But, you know, it has that really small window of chance where it's like they don't happen to have those creatures. They happen to have these types. But it's one of those things, it's truly not the end of the world because there's a lot of other cards to work with. But I absolutely love this card. Okay, on to the next one. We have Gatekeeper of Malakir. I'm just running 3 of these. He's a bit pricey, so I kind of just, meshed around a little bit. But Gatekeeper of Malakir is really dope card. 2 black. And you pay a 1 kicker. His kicker is so cheap. He's a 2/2, and when he enters the battlefield, if he was kicked, for that 1 mana, target player sacrifices a creature. So it's one of those things, it gets you something on the board to work with, and it also has that awesome removal. And of course, if they choose, you know, that's, I guess, in a way, a negative, but it's the fact that you're still getting that sacrifice for literally 1 mana, and you're getting a creature out on the board. So he's really awesome. Next, we have Grasp of Darkness. We have 4 of these, 2 black mana. Target creature gets -4, -4, -4. I almost said that 3 times. -4 until the end of the turn. This card's just an awesome, really good removal, especially for super cheap. Grasp of Darkness is an absolutely awesome card. Again, to help you find your answers, to find your combo, this is really helpful. Next up, we have 4 Murders. Number 1, I absolutely love the foiling on these. These are beautiful. They were literally I think 25 cents more for these versions. So I just ended up purchasing because I mean, why not? They look amazing. Murder is just an absolute, removal staple. 2 black, 1 of any color, destroy target creature. It's that simple. Awesome instant. All right. Now, this is another creature. I also added this thing. This is awesome. And I actually will mention that I got this deck tech from Bad Boy Gaming, I believe is the name of his channel. I apologize if I'm wrong on that. He does a lot of deck techs, budget decks, stuff like that. And it's just his videos are insanely entertaining. And this is where I got the idea for this deck. I saw his deck tech on this, and I had to pick it up because mill is like my absolute favorite thing. So shout outs to him for doing that. I really appreciate that, the help with that. But this is White of Precinct 6, 1 black, 1 of any color. He's a 1/1. White of Precinct 6 gets a +1/+1 for each creature card in your opponent's graveyard. Again, this gets that huge boost because of all the removal that is in this deck. So, with all that removal, this guy can be very big for just 2 mana. So he's a really awesome card as well. Last one here, the first one starting off is kind of the one that I'm questionable towards. Because really all this card can really do is kind of search you out either this same exact card, which again, its ability to search it out again isn't exactly awful. You look at the top 3 cards your target player's library, of course your opponent's, remove any number of those cards from the game, then put the rest back in any order. Again, it's a good disruption. It's a good disruption for 3 mana, especially if one of their power plays, their bomb cards happens to be in those top 3. And again, you can transmute and search for this card again, or you can search for murder, which are the only 2 cards I actually believe in this deck that are 3 mana, because it has to be the same cost as this card, and you can search it, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library, and then play it as a sorcery. So we have 4 of those. Again, it's a cool card. It's useful. It's not exactly like, useless, but it's definitely better out here. Same for this. It's definitely better out for this card, but the reason why I love Diabolic Revelation so much, even though it is so expensive, this is one of those cards that I feel like is good for the sense of if you have a good amount of mana, but you're missing like one of those combo cards, this is your freaking answer right here. Because you search, okay, so it's 2 black, 3 of any color, and X, which of course is how many cards you want to search for. Search your library for up to X cards and put those in your hand, then shuffle your library. So this is a great card, again, when you're sitting on a bunch of mana, but maybe you're missing 1 or 2 of your combo cards. So then, boom, you pay 2, you pay 1, whatever the heck you need extra. You can search, get those cards you need, and then you have everything you need for that combo. So that is very helpful, again, in that really sticky situation if you're in it. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, a thumbs down if you didn't. And kind of as I purchase decks in the time, which is not going to be for a little while, but when I do, of course, I love doing deck techs about them and just giving the full explanation of what they do, how they work, and why they're so awesome. Also running 18 swamps, I can point that out real quick, 18 swamps. But again, if you all enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course a thumbs down if you didn't. And if you guys really love these videos, and I'm really trying to stay consistent at this point, and just keep the videos rolling about every 2-3 days is kind of like my big goal right now. Every 2 days is my major goal, but I'm really trying to get them out as consistently and as often as I can. And if you are all enjoying them, I would really appreciate a subscribe but that's all up to you guys. So I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day.